Hello, my Teaserking family. Let's try this again. Had internet issues, but it was just a minute or two in, so I'll just delete it. Anyway, hope everybody's well. So we look at the paper gold, 41.27, 48.77 silver. There's no way this can be real. What the hell is going on? What's causing 41.07 to go down to 40.50 to go back up to 41.27? There's no selling and buying going on here. It's got nothing to do with it. Hey, Luke. No, I'm not taking a breather. It's just JP Morgan's fucking around lowering the price. But in reality, he's not. uh, This is just about price fixing. This is about I want to buy it cheaper because I need to buy gold, and they lower the price and then they buy it. Now now it's just okay. It's too cheap. I'm going to buy it because China and Russia. The only reason they're on comex is because it's cheaper than anywhere they can get it because it's fixed. This price is not real, 41.27. Like I say, times it by 10. If you don't have these options pushing the price down, you don't have people selling. As I explained yesterday, the only way a price can go down is if nobody's interested in it. That's why you have sales. So you sell steak for $20 a pound, and everybody says it's too high. What happens? It goes on sale. There's no demand, and therefore the price has to come down to meet the market, right? You got to have this. So when you sell steak at 20, but the market's at 10, it doesn't sell. You lower it, then you hit the market, and then it gets bought. Well, that's what's going on with gold. It never reaches that point. The gold price is here, and the COMEX is here. So it's not being pushed down by people not interested in it. It's being pushed down by these Eddie Murphy options. And it's only the options that are doing it. So that's the problem. The options are what's lowering the price, not the demand. And they've watered down the gold price with paper, which I don't know what that is. It's not real. If I have a coin in my hand, this is real. I got my Canadian club. It's real. I have it in my hands. That is not gold. If I have physical gold in my hands, then I'm fine, right? But this is paper gold. This is options. This is not real. This is like Bitcoin. It's all fantasy. And so you should get caught in it. Luke, when I watched this Egon, this AM sounded just like you. Yeah, I try to tell you that. I'm the one who knows. So yeah, I mean, we are very similar. He's also an Austrian, and I think he gets stuff from me because he does email me and stuff. So I think he watches, and I think Mark McGwire and Alligator McLeod watches me and learns because I hear them change. Alistair McLeod used to think it was prices going up. Now he realizes it's the money supply. He used to think gold was because the currency was going down. Now he realizes there's demand for it. So whatever I say, they start copying me. When does the break in COMEX happen? We need silver to break through 50 soon. Then it takes off to 100. Well, it broke 50. It's being held down. I don't know why or by who or how. Just obviously these options. But what we know is the demand for silver. I was watching one of these YouTube things, and it's just the demand for silver is through the roof. It's very, short supply. That's already broke 53. It came back for some reason. I don't know why that's a magic number. Once it broke 35, it should be gone. So I don't know why they're keeping the price down. I can only assume it's so they can buy more. The U.S. maybe wants to buy more silver. They made it a certain type of metal, I guess. When does the break in COMEX happen? I think it's already broken. This is a good example. COMEX trying to short the gold, but look what's happened. It gets down to 40, 50 or so, and then it goes back up. So they're trying to short it, and it is broke. It's still going up. Even when they try to short it, it never broke 4,000. So therefore, here we go back to 41, back to 42, finally to 5,000. and they just keep playing this game. I don't know how much money they make on these option crap, but go do it on the side. This should not be the physical gold and silver price. You want to play options? It's like playing stock. Go play stock over there. We're the physical world. We're the real world. And that's really where the problem lies. If I go to my guy's store today, he's going to go and it's 41.27. He's going to charge me 42.27. He ups it 100, if he even has any. He still had silver, so I'm not worried about that. But you know, we'll go from there. But this is where it's at. This comex price fixing. And that's what it is. And Mark McGwire was a whistleblower on price fixing. Yeah, that was a real smart thing. What's he thinking? It's price fixed. It's like going to Trump and saying, "Hey, they're price fixing something," and he's in it. He's in the middle of the price fixing. So I think comex is the stupidest thing I've ever seen. It's really just an option market, but should not be used to price fix. Should not be used to price fix. Should not be used to price physical gold and silver. That should be real market, not this bullshit. What's the price of gold? 41.27. Bullshit. That's the paper option price of gold, not the physical gold, which is what I keep reiterating. Go buy physical, and it's 10 times more than you think it is. Luke, even with the decrease, it's been a hell of a year in gold and silver miners. Well, I'm glad you're making money in it. Just be careful with it. I wouldn't be surprised if November is booming. In the miners, maybe. You're really playing with fire when you're playing with stocks right now. As Egon said in that video, you're going to collapse 90%. So you're playing with fire going, well, it hasn't collapsed yet. But as soon as the foreigners start pulling their money out, Katie bar the door, and you're going to be in trouble. So don't play with too much fire. Play with a little fire if you want, but not too much. It is not the old stock market. It's not like I can put my money in Disney and it's okay, and whatever happened, Coca-Cola or Apple or IBM or any of those, Microsoft and Intel and that. It's about to crash. So you have to prepare for that. I don't want to see you lose your money because you're in stocks. I don't want to see my friend in Florida who's got $500K in his IRA or his 401K loses $500K, but I can't do it for them. If they want to be in it, they're in it. And I'm warning, you're going to get crushed. Nothing good can come out of being in the stock market now. Yeah, it's there. It's up, but it's about to go. And we don't know when. There's no time. There's no October 31st. But we're in October, and just be careful. Let's see what the stock market's doing today. It's probably up. So 41.28 and 48.74 silver. Why silver's down makes no sense. Stock market is up 536. That makes no sense. Between all the problem, the whole key is the money isn't worth anything. So why are you in the stock market when the money itself is worthless? Let's see. Anyway. So that's it. I'll get into Mark McGwire after football, but the guest today was the worst guest I've ever heard him have. It was some guy, was a technical guy, the cup and thing stock thing. Didn't know what inflation was. Really no idea about gold and silver. I left some beautiful comments like, "Who's this idiot?" and why would you have this guy on your show? See, Mark McGwire doesn't understand who's watching his channel, and then he brings on a guest that's contrarian to what he's talking about. It makes no sense. It'd be like me bringing on a Bitcoin guy. Well, understanding my audience is gold. Why would I ever bring a Bitcoin guy on? Why would I ever bring anybody else on? Because you come to watch me, but well, I mean so he brought on a guy who doesn't know anything. He's a stock technical guy, and those guys are clueless. So I wouldn't waste your time. We'll review it a little bit, and I'm going to rip them apart as I like to do, just to make it clear to you what we're looking at. Ford is up 10%. I don't know what 10% means. Is their stock even more than $1 or $2? Worst run company I've ever seen, and I worked there, and it's all, if your name isn't Ford, forget it. The people in charge, the CEOs, are idiots. It's not a good company. They don't know what they're doing. What can I say? It used to be that's how the Lions were run. Now the Lions got a decent coach, I guess. They're winning a little bit more. And then people, after watching the game, think they're the best team. But then when they lose to KC, yeah, maybe they're not that good. They lost to Green Bay. Yeah, maybe they're not that good. Anyway, Ford's terrible. So Ford's up 10%. Why? Nobody's buying cars. There's millions in lots that are unsold. They probably make more money with the Lions or Ford land than they do selling their cars. They got killed with the electric vehicles. I don't think they're in international markets because I never see a Ford in Europe and or Russia or any of that. Anyway, so I would not advise to buy Ford stock. I don't know why it would possibly be up. Interest rates are coming down a little. I don't think everybody's running to buy a car, and if they are, they're not running to buy a Ford. So I don't know. Ford's pricey. You'd have to read the comments why it's up, because there's nothing in the future that's going to say, "Oh, Ford's profits are going to be up." I really don't know. I don't know why you would follow stocks. You want to really get out of them. You just want to, like, I relax. I wake up. I look at the gold. I'm fine. I don't need to make money in stocks and worry, when's it crashing, versus in gold where it can't crash. Here's our big crash. It went down a couple $100 and now it's back up, and the demand's huge. The supply is extremely limited. Bricks has 75% of it. So if people want it, it's going to be a higher price. Gold and silver are perfect. Very high demand, very low supply makes price go up. We know the price is fixed by COMEX, and that's breaking up. We know the dollar is gone, which is creating this huge demand. So Mark McGwire's got, oh, it's not inflation, it's digital IDs, and I'm like, no, that's not why you buy gold. You buy gold because the money is worthless. So the guest didn't even understand that. Anyway, we'll get into that. Let's talk a little football. Yesterday, the professor, I nailed the score. I have Minnesota 24, San Diego 23, which is a 47. Now, I didn't nail the score by team properly, but I did nail the score. It was 37-10, a 47. I played the game over 44 and a half. I went over 38 and a half, and it was a winner at as soon as it hit 31-10, then it was a 41 and it was over 38. I just used logic. Minnesota, their defense isn't as strong. I'm seeing Philadelphia light it up pretty good. I see San Diego's defense isn't strong. They gave up a lot of points to Washington, and frankly, they're not the strong defense. But here, after losing a few games, which is why I like teams after they lose a few games, they come on and win 37-10, which is why I play overs and unders more so than teams. I had no idea. I picked Minnesota to win the game. I was way off, but I didn't play Minnesota. I played the total. So the win is 37-10. That's why we go over. That's why I play totals a lot. I really don't know who's going to win, but I know the type of game it's going to be: high scoring, low scoring. So if I know it's going to be somewhat high, and then I'm dealing with the 44 total, so I go over 38. I could have went under 52, and that would have won also because it was 47. But anyway, the over seemed to be the better play because it was only 38. And I figure if Minnesota played a 48 with Philly, they're probably going to be close to that with San Diego. All right, let's look at the line. Houston, 41.5 to San Francisco. A lot of injuries for Frisco. Houston, the receivers, we got to check on them. We got an under team in the Niners, 20 defense, and Daniel Jones, and an under team, or no, it's the other Jones, Mac Jones. Too many Joneses. Is Indiana Jones quarterbacking? Frisco and under, Houston and under in a 15 with Stroud. Teaser plays. Houston 11-2 is a home favorite, 22-3 overall, 6-0 this year. Play against San Francisco as a road dog, 1-5. Play against Houston as a home favorite, 11-2. And yes, they can be a good home favorite. A good bet against means they play a lot of close games. Defense very strong for Houston. They both need a win. I'm not, as far as taking a team, I don't know. I would maybe take Houston. The Niners had a good game. They got Kittle back, and they got McCaffrey back, and Mac Jones, who still sucks. So I don't know what to do with this, but Houston. But what I do know is I think it'll be I think I'm going to play a total on this game. I think it's a total game. Anyway, Chicago and Baltimore. Baltimore 6.5, 49.5. Is Lamar playing? He's a participant in practice. His hamstring's still bothering him. So it must be a real serious hamstring, not just the little one. And, Dak Prescott had a hamstring and was out all year last year. So I don't know. But if they lose this game, they might not. They'd be 1-6. They might just leave Lamar out for the year and go with Cooper Rush because obviously he's seriously injured. And he's just a running back. He's not a quarterback, so he needs to run, and he can't. The Bears 4-2. Who before the season, if I would have said the Bears are playing Baltimore, I said one team's 4-2, one's 5-2, 1-5. You'd think it'd be the other way around. The Bears are an over team with the 26 defense. Baltimore an over team with the 32 defense. If Lamar plays, I think Baltimore wins a tight one. If he doesn't play, I think it's the Bears. They seem to play a lot of 25-24 games against Oakland and one in another game. Baltimore's 32 defense is a problem, no matter what happens. Now, they played a lot of good teams. Do the Bears have a good offense? I think with this offensive coach, they're getting there, but again, it's been against Oakland. It's been against weak Miamis and teams that aren't very good. So this will be a better test to go into Baltimore and beat them. Well, let's see. The Rams just did it. Houston did it. The Lions did it. So probably not a big deal. So don't know. Over under, it would depend on Lamar playing, I think. You got Derrick Henry and Cooper Rush. They're not doing anything. So it's hard to say. We'll get a better feel on Lamar by Sunday. But even if he plays, how good's he going to be? So I don't know. The Bears are probably a live dog here. Buffalo, Carolina. Buffalo is 746.5. I did change my bet where I stuck Buffalo. It was interesting. I'm all excited to play Buffalo off of 2 losses in a row. They lost to Atlanta and they lost to New England. Then they have the bye, and I'm going, okay. Then I look at Carolina, and now they got Andy Dalton quarterbacking, which makes them better. And then I'm looking at who Buffalo beat. Okay, they beat Baltimore, and then they beat the Jets in Miami and one other shit team. So they're 4-2, but the 2 games they lost were pretty good teams. Atlanta, I don't even know. They were decent teams. Atlanta and one other. And so I'm like going, well, wait a minute. I like them less at Carolina. I like the laying 1, and I like they've lost 2 games in a row, but I did make the switch. So my customers, just keep that in mind. I've moved the teaser. Some people, I don't know when you bet them. I posted the games yesterday, and therefore, my cost's pretty much gone. So just keep in mind, I still played Buffalo, but very small, because this is why you got to dig inside the numbers. Inside the numbers, I'm looking, going, well, Buffalo's beat Miami and the fucking Jets. They haven't beat anybody. Then they played 2 teams, and New England they lost to, and Atlanta they lost to. And you're like going, now you're really like scratching. Now they were on the New England was at home, Atlanta was on the road. Here's at Carolina. Now you have a break. Steve Young's not playing, but then you get Andy Dalton. So I still think Buffalo wins, but I think it's close. So I had to move it. I had to notch it down. But I want to let you know now. All right, Philly 7.5, 44. Philly an E team, Giants an E team. Giants are scoring a lot. Philly to play 26-22 to Minnesota is a problem. The Giants dart seems to get you points. Scatterboo will get you points. Philly 24 defense. So they're not the same as they were last year. And that's what you got to notice is, who do I have this year? Who's my A team and who's my Z teams? And they change all the time, except for Kansas City. So be careful with Philly. They're not last year's Philly. They don't have this great, 18 defense. They're a 24 defense. Be careful. The Giants with Dart and Scatterboo are scoring more. So keep that in mind. Cleveland goes to New England. New England 7.40.5. I got New England as a B team. Cleveland as Z. Cleveland with 22 defense. They're probably almost an under team because they don't score. Now they're going to Dylan Gabriel, Drake May, New England a B team with a 19 defense. Drake May, I watched the Tennessee game. He's okay. He likes to run way too much, and he's going to get hurt. And their defense is okay. They happen to basically win on a Cam Ward dropped the ball, and the New England guy picked it up and ran it in for a touchdown at the 5-yard line. So pretty decent. They'll probably struggle a little here with this Cleveland defense, but they are at home. So tough game there. I don't buy that New England's, Kansas City, right? Drake May is not all that, not yet. The JETSs go to Cincinnati. Cincy 6.5, 44.5. They're both Z teams. Jets 26 defense. Cincy at 31. It looks like it's going to be, I don't know, Taylor or Fields. Taylor now has a hurt knee. Probably Fields against Flacco. Now Flacco is using Jamar Chase. So that's key, right? To use Chase, now you've got now he gets Chase involved and Higgins. So Flacco's better here than he was at Cleveland. He's got better receivers. Um, I don't know about a better line, but he definitely lit up Pittsburgh last week. And I think the Jets are just terrible. Play against the Jets 22-2. As a road dog, they're 8-0 against. Since he's no picnic either, they're 20-4 play against. But I don't see the Jets. This is just a Sunday afternoon game. I think since he wins at home, I don't see the Jets going on the road and winning. They'll get their win at home, maybe against Buffalo or something. Miami goes to Atlanta. Atlanta 7.5, 44.5. Penix, I think's okay. I don't know who Miami's starting, either Tagovailoa or whoever. Miami's a Z team with a terrible 29 defense and no Tyreek Hill. Since Atlanta, an under team with a 20 defense, but Penix. Play against Miami as a road dog, 9-1. Play against Miami this year, 7-0. So if you just bet against Miami every week, you win every week. That's the idea. Same thing with the JETSs. You bet against them, 22-2 last year and this year, 7-0 this year. So again, the Jets, Miami, C teams, and that's kind of where you're going to make your money is betting against. I can't see Atlanta losing this game, and I only got a 7. My line was Atlanta -10. I'm really shocked this is only a 7. And Miami's terrible. I mean, Tampa 447 to New Orleans. Tampa an over team 25 defense to Baker. New Orleans a W team with Rattler 27 defense. So they don't really have a good defense. Tampa in a teasers 22-3, including the loss on Monday to Detroit. 6-0 is a road favorite. Play against New Orleans this year is 6-1. So this is a Tampa play. It is a division game, so you got to be careful about that because usually in the division games, you like the home dogs there. 10. We got a Z team, Tennessee. Cam Ward's just terrible, and a 27 defense. They're a little bit better. If this game was at Tennessee, I'd be careful, but it's at Indy. They're the A team and a 20 defense, and Jones looks okay, believe it or not. Play against Tennessee 21-3. Indy is 7-0 this year, 20-4, or 7-0 as a home favorite, 20-4 the last 2 years. Play against Tennessee's again 7-0. So Tennessee's like the Jets. They're not going to win with Cam Ward. Indy's just really now it's a big line. So then I look at total and I go, can I count on Cam Ward to get me points? No. So how many points is Indy going to get before they say, well, this is going to run the clock out? And again, this is pro football. I kind of think this is an under. Indy with a good defense. Tennessee probably won't score much, maybe 7 points or, a block punt or some pick six or something. Indy probably puts up 30 and they win 30-7 and totals 47. So I think this would be an under. I'm a little scared to lay 8. It's a division game and you got to be careful. It's the NFL. You got to be careful laying, 40 points or 14 points down to 8. You got to be careful with that. So I got a lot of that. Since seeing the Jets, I don't know what to do over or under. Atlanta, Miami, I don't know. I don't know how much Miami's going to give me or the Jets if they're going to score, since he should score. See, that's kind of how you view it. If you try to figure out the total of the Jets-Cincy game, and you go, well, Cincy will probably score in the 20s, but the Jets, will they score? Fields is terrible. So let's say they score a little bit. Do I have enough to go over or do I play the game under? And then if I say the Jets aren't going to help me, but since he should score because of Flacco, then I play Cincinnati. In this Tennessee game, it's the same thing. I don't think Tennessee scores. I think Indy's good, but then here I'm laying 14 down to 8, where in Cincinnati it's 7-1, New England 7-1, Atlanta 7-1. So you can just lay one, they just got to win, and you're worried about covering the over. And here, same thing, but they're laying 14. I got to lay 8. It's just a big number. Let's be careful. Free play, Denver, 3.5, 51 to Dallas. This is an over game. You got Dallas, an over team with the 29 defense. You got Denver, a B team, so they will score on Dallas. Their 18 defense got exposed to the Giants, who put up 30 points on them. So it's a good defense. Now, the only worry I have is Dallas going to Chicago and didn't score. So then you're like, what the fuck? Dallas going to Carolina, and they did score. They lost 30-27. That's kind of what I'm expecting here. I'm expecting Dallas to probably lose. Yeah, my score is 35-33 Denver. I think Denver lights them up pretty good, but I think Dak, the way he's playing, maybe it's the new coach with the new offensive coordinator, but they're scoring a lot. Still no defense, but they're scoring. They got a 29 defense. Denver should win this game, but Dallas, the way they score, but they lost to Carolina, they lost at the Bears, tied Green Bay. They don't know how to win, which is amazing. You have Prescott and CeeDee Lamb. No real running game. So Denver's defense will be sticky. We'll probably have to wait till the third quarter to cover our 50. But the free play is go over. Go 44. Again, 35-30 Denver's my score. I'm taking a lot from the Giants game last week. I'm taking it that Dallas is putting up 30 points and that Denver lit up the Giants, and I don't see Dallas doing a whole lot to stop them either. So they'll score because they need to. That's how you get your overs. When you get a close game like the Giants and Denver last week, what happened? They scored, and then they came back, and the Giants scored, and Denver scored. And that's how you get your over. When it's 27-0, you don't get your overs. Prophet, good morning. How's everything in Canada? Or are you in LA at this point? Green Bay goes to Pittsburgh. Green Bay 345.5. Green Bay here is not in a good spot. They are play against as a road favorite 9-1. And that goes last year and this year. They went to Arizona, barely won. We'll see when they go to the Bears. They'll be a road favorite there and in Minnesota. They just don't play that well outside of Green Bay. And they're favored like here by 3. And you take 9 in Pitt, and it'll win. They might win by 3, like last week with Arizona. They won by, 3, 4 points. So you bet against them as a road favorite, as I did. I took Arizona last week. And there you go. And probably you can take Pitt this week because, again, they're a road favorite. They're not going to win by a lot of points. Pitt at home is a home dog with Aaron Rodgers. This is a big game for Aaron Rodgers, seeing how he played 20 years for Green Bay. So look for Pitt to be on, but their defense is kind of weak. And I don't know about how strong Green Bay's defense is. I mean, they gave up a lot of points to Brissett at Arizona making a start. Profit still here. Hoping Jays can put up a good effect here against the Dodgers. Well, I think they can. They came back down 2-0 to Seattle. I thought the manager for Seattle choked. And we'll go into that in a minute. But they're still there. Nick, good morning. Did you hear about the gambling boss in the NBA crazy story? Well, I mean, you've had a referee fix games. You've had other players fix their own thing. So no, it's to me, it's not crazy. It's exactly how do you allow the players to bet on themselves? Are we missing that Pete Rose couldn't get into the Hall of Fame because he bet on himself, on his own team? And he didn't bet until he was the manager. And then when he did, he supposedly bet on Cincinnati. So really, what's the problem? The guy betting against his own team, that's a problem. So now these NBA guys, now how much do the NBA guys make? Millions of dollars, and they're going to bet on themselves to not score 10 points and fake an injury and go out. That's just stupidity. I mean, if I was an NBA player, I'd go, hey, Nick, maybe bet on me to go under today. Wink, wink. So why don't you make a bet for us? Don't mention me. Just go make a bet. Not too big because we don't want to do suspicion. So I'll just make a small $10,000 bet. I'll go under. I don't know why they just don't do that, but they start betting 200, 300,000 on it. What are you, insane? That's going to draw attention because you're a nobody. I'm a nobody. So if somebody bet 200 grand that I'm going to go under and I stayed under, it's obviously a fix. You can't do that. You got to keep it 10, 20 grand. But since I make $4 or $5 million a year, why are we even dicking around with that? And I'm not going to do that. I'm going to bet my team or against my team, not me. Why do they have player props? Is because gambling, they're trying to get more money. So they're trying to make more bets. That's why you have these Tuesday games and the Wednesday games. So they're trying to make more bets. That's why they have these London games. Oh, it's 9 a.m. It's another bet for the people. Because if we lump it in Sunday, they're going to take their best games. They're not going to bet. They might not bet the Cleveland New England game, but if we make it Sunday night or we make it in London, then they'll bet it. And it's all about trying to get more revenue because everybody's going broke. And that's what they're doing. But I mean, you got to throw these guys out of the league, and these guys are the dumbest guy. I mean, they're making millions, right? I don't know what this guy made in the NBA, but if he's even playing and he's on a team, he's making a couple million. You're going to risk all that for what, 200 grand divided by all his friends? That's how stupid these NBA players are. It's really disgusting. It still doesn't really hurt the integrity of the game because the Knicks are still going to play to win against St. Louis, but the player itself to fake the injury, who gives a fuck? It doesn't really affect the outcome of the game. It just, because, okay, the guy's injured. Oh, great. Get him out of here. And the coach should know what's going on. Just like 8 men out, the coach can't be blind to it. He's got to realize something's going on, pull the starting pitcher, and go from there. That's what the manager coach has to do. But they're so fucking stupid. I don't know if they're capable of it. Greed is an evil thing. Is that really greedy or is that stupidity? Because he just lost his 2-3 million a year because he's kicked out of the league. I kind of think greed's good in the right mind. We're greedy. We want to win every football game and we want to increase our bets. That's greedy, but that's smart. And I have no problem to go 10-0 and everybody makes thousands of dollars here. I got no problem with that. And that's greed. But greed used properly is good because I'm figuring out different methods to keep us with winners. Right? So that's smart. Do I want to win more? Yes. Is that greedy? I don't think so because it's what do I use the money for? So I don't buy this greed thing. I think greed's kind of a socialist thing that, oh, he wants more money. He's greedy. He should have enough. He made enough money. He doesn't need to make more. You make as much as you want. So I'm not buying the greedy thing. This is stupidity, not greed. Greed, if it's greed, he should have just sat out and tried to get a higher contract. Or he should be betting on the team, and he certainly would. I would have had you bet it, not me. My name's not coming anywhere. Like Shotani, he fixed. Why is he still playing baseball? He should be kicked out. He clearly bet sports. Oh, no, my interpreter bet. Yeah, really, you're giving your interpreter hundreds of thousands of dollars to bet on baseball. And you expect me to believe that? See, that's where I have the problem. So Shotani's a cheat and he's fixing games. So you're going to trust these World Series games? They're not fixed. I don't know. I don't trust him. I think he totally bet against himself or against the team, or he bet on baseball and he should be thrown out of the league. Oh, but he's Japanese and da 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 da, and he can pitch. He can pitch and chew gum at the same time. No, you can't. You can't allow this. So anything the Dodgers do is not on. It's totally illegal. And that's why I can't, like, if they win the World Series, I'll probably throw up. It's so disgusting. But greed is not evil, right? Luke wants to bet on stocks, on gold, on miners, gold and silver miners. Well, that's greedy because he's thinking that's where he can make money. So the whole stock market's greedy, right? If you think about it. But then so's JP Morgan greedy because he's doing these bullshit options in gold and silver. And he keeps cheating, and he's with Madoff, and now he's with the gold price fixing. Is he greedy? No, he's just a crook. He's a mafia crook. And I got a problem with those idiots. Anyway, our last game. So Pitt's a good dog. Over under, I don't know. I got a 21 defense and a 23 defense. Total 44, over 38. With these quarterbacks, I think you're going to get an over. I don't think Pitt's defense is all that. I don't think Green Bay's is all that either. I think you easily get into the 40s. We only need 38. And their last game is Kansas City 12.5, 48 to Washington. Now, Daniels is out. Why is this game going from 47 to 48? Why would you bet the over? Mariota? Washington probably won't score. They're going to probably run the ball more. Mariota can't throw. Be a lot of turnovers. KC, great defense. KC will get a lead. They'll go up 24, 27, and then they just run the ball, run the game out. I would think this is low scoring. And KC covering, I don't. The 18 defense, Washington's not going to score much here. And KC, they're not really going to they'll score. They'll get maybe even into the 30s, but it'll be 30-0, not 30-28. I just don't see Washington doing anything with Mariota. Now, Washington's 23-4 in a teaser with Daniels. No Daniels. He should be back. I think they're got a bye next week, and then he'll be back. Against Mahomes, Kansas City with Mahomes is 18-3 as a home favorite the last couple of years. This will be tricky because they're laying 12.5. So be careful of that. This game and the Indy game, you just got to be careful because the mindset is if they're up 6 at the end of the game, they're going to win by 6. They don't care about the 12 or 14 or whatever. Just keep that in mind. Keep your eye on the Michigan State game. The Michigan State coach down 28 points and the line's 27 with 10 seconds left, and they're down 35-10 to 25, kicks a field goal from like the 30-yard line with no time remaining to cover the spread, which was 27. And they lose by 25. Fortunately, in teaser world, I had Indy minus 21. So I took 27 down to 21. I see the final like 35-13 or 38-13. And you just and they got Michigan this week, so you just got to be careful of that. Now we're talking how stupid these coaches are. I'm watching the game. I'm watching the YouTube of the game yesterday. And it's 4th and 8, or I'm watching it on Yahoo because I needed the over. And I'm just watching the box score go. You can see the plays. You can't see the visual play, but they tell you, 5 yards, first down. And it's 4th and 8, and they go for it. And you're like, this is why the over-unders are getting difficult because they're making, if they don't get it, they've taken 6 minutes off the clock and they get nothing. And then the other team gets the ball at their 25 or 30. And they don't understand, the coaches don't understand that the object of the game is to get more points than the other team. So if I'm at the 40 and it's 4th and 10, I probably should kick the field goal. Now they were down. I got lucky. They were down. I think it was 21-10, and it's 4th and 14. I don't know what happened. I watched the replay. It didn't really tell me. 4th and 14. All of a sudden, it was 4th and 9. All of a sudden, it was 1st and goal at the 5 on some, I assume, pass interference call, and then they scored. And you're just like, kick your fucking field goal. Like, what is wrong with these coaches? This could be the dumbest coaching and managing in baseball due to analytics. These could be the dumbest managers and coaches that's ever managed and coached. The Tigers lost because they pulled their pitcher in the 6th inning because he pitched 95 pitches. The Lions lost to 49ers because they went for 4th down, even though they were winning by 17, or maybe they were up 14. And then they needed a field goal to tie the game late in the game, and they skip it to go on 4th down and don't get it. These are idiot coaches and managers. These are guys that don't understand. They think they're supposed to go on 4th. They think the pitch count is the only thing. When you're in the playoffs, there's no pitch count, especially game 5. You got your ace on the mound. He's not leaving the game. And if he's tired, go fuck yourself. Go figure out how to pitch 9 innings because you're pitching 9 innings. Well, he threw 100 miles an hour in the 6th inning, so that's it. Well, too bad. You're pitching the 7th. If I'm the manager, you're on the mound. You're going all 9. Unless we get like a 6-0 lead, then I might bring in a reliever. Otherwise, you're going the whole game like Mickey Lolich on 2 days rest and 68 World Series. Pitched game 5. McClain pitched game 6. He pitched game 7. On 2 days rest, he pitched a complete game, probably 140 pitches. Geez, he did it. He wasn't even in good shape. He was kind of chubby. So if you're telling me Bob Gibson never came out of a game, Sandy Koufax never came out of a game, Nolan Ryan probably never did. Jack Morris, we know he wouldn't come out of a game. We saw Scherzer yell at the manager for trying to take him out. You've got a bunch of idiot managers and coaches. They don't understand the concept of how to win. It's amazing that they're the manager. In football, it's let's go for 4th down, and the whole league, well, it's 4th and 8. Let's no, we don't want to kick the field goal. Let's go for it. Yeah, it's 4th and 12, and the odds of us getting it are 0. But what the fuck? Let's go for it. This shows me how stupid these coaches are. And that Minnesota coach who did it yesterday did it against San Diego. The game was in Minnesota, I think 2 years ago, and he had the ball at his own 25. No, I think it was the San Diego coach. Had it at his own 25 in the last minute of the game, and it's 4th and a couple yards. Instead of punting, which he should have done, he goes for it. Of course, he doesn't make it, but because Minnesota had Kirk Cousins, they couldn't score anyway because he's terrible. But why aren't you punting at your own 25-yard line late in the game? They happen to be up 4. Oregon, Washington, the same thing. The Oregon coach has the ball at midfield with like a minute left. They're winning. Just punt the ball into the end zone and then kill some clock. And nope, he goes for it, doesn't make it. Penix, boom, boom, touchdown. Washington wins. I don't understand. These coaches are just incredibly stupid. They listen to algorithms. What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? You can't. Algorithms aren't going to help you. All right. Anyway, this could be the dumbest coaching, managing era in the history of life, that these guys are just too stupid. They clearly have no ability to coach. shouldn't be coaching. And you can see it. All right, let's go to college. Let's look at that. So again, just a quick teaser. Houston 22-3 in a teaser against the Niners. Buffalo 21-5 in a teaser. Play against Carolina as a home dog 6-1. The Giants play against Philly 7-0. Philly is a home favorite. It's 11-3. Let's see. Play against Cleveland as a road dog 10-1. New England is 6-1 in a teaser this year. Play against Cincinnati is 20-4. Play against the Jets is 22-2, 7-0 this year. Play against Miami is a road dog 9-1. Play against Miami this year 7-0. Tampa Bay 22-3 in a teaser, 6-0 is a road favorite. Play against Tennessee 21-3. Let's see. Indy 7-0 is a home favorite, 20-4 in a teaser, 7-0 in a teaser this year. So you got a perfect storm there. You got Indy's very good this year and Tennessee's very weak. Dallas 8-1 is a road dog. Denver 23-2 in a teaser, 7-0 this year. 9-0 is a home favorite, so that's a twisted one. Play against Green Bay as a road favorite, 9-1. Washington 23-4, but no Daniels. Kansas City 18-3 is a home favorite. So this would have been a good game. I would have taken probably over with Daniels. Without Daniels, you cannot bet on Mariota. I mean, he's terrible. All right. Let's look at college football. Yesterday, South Alabama 7 over Georgia State, and South Alabama wins 38-31. Now, see, here's my point. There's a W against the Z. Georgia State with the 41 defense, South Alabama with the 29 defense, total of 55, yet they go to 69 on the score, even though neither team really has an offense. I mean, a Z team, you score 15 points, and a W, maybe you score 20. Yet with these bad defenses, the offenses score. If you wanted to bet against the Z team and take South Alabama -1, you win 38-31. All right, so today I am playing one of these games. I'm feeling brave after winning last night's game. All right, let's see. We got North Texas, 26.5, 61.5 to Charlotte. They're the over team, North Texas. 25 defense. Charlotte, the Z team, 35 if you want. Bet against the Z team. This is a very explosive North Texas team. I would assume they'll put up a lot of points here. At Charlotte, it's Friday night, so keep that in mind. VTech 650.5 to Cal. This is a strange one. VTech's terrible this year. They're a W team, and yet they're favored by 6.50. Cal's an under team with a 21 defense. Have to fly from Cal to Virginia on a Friday, which is their schedule is all fucked up. I would think Cal's a live dog or maybe an under, but we'll see. Boise, Nevada. Boise 21, 51.5. Boise, the over team with the 26 defense. Nevada, a W with the 28. Not a good team. Hard to go over on the game because Nevada might not give you many points, but Boise's got 26 defense. Not the greatest. So that'll be an interesting. So those are your Friday games. Now let's go to Saturday, the big noon games and the big afternoon games. Ohio, 11.5, 58.5 to Eastern. Ohio, an over team with a 25 defense. Western's a W team with a 33. I look for Ohio to score, especially being an over team. We don't know what Eastern's going to do, and the game's at Eastern. But it's a noon game, but they're both Michigan, Ohio. They're both in this time zone, so it's actually a noon game for them. Rutgers in Purdue. Rutgers 1.5, 58.5. Purdue's a good team. Purdue's a better team this year. They have a good coach. They got a good quarterback, kind of. He throws a lot of interceptions. Rutgers an over team with the 31 defense. I don't know. Rutgers has been playing not normal Rutgers, not strong defense. So I don't know. Purdue should be a home dog, should be able to stay in there, I think. UCLA, Indiana 25.5, 53.5. UCLA, I don't know what they are. The last three games, they beat Penn State, Michigan State, and Maryland. So these are three good wins. Penn State and Maryland were very good wins. I don't know what to call them. Right now, they're an E team with the 27 defense. But again, they gave up 35 to Penn State. They gave up 13 to Michigan State and 20-something to Maryland. So the defense is getting better. But I think it's because of the offense. If the offense can move, it rests the defense. And you're not going to give up as many points because you got the ball. They don't. Unless you throw pick sixes and fumbles for touchdowns, they're not going to score. Indiana, great team, an A team, 11 defense. They're ranked number 2 now, and this will be a good game if they play Ohio State. I'm not sure. But they're for real. It's funny, they beat Michigan last year. Nobody gave them credit. Well, it's Michigan. They lost to Ohio State, but and I'm going, but they beat Michigan, and that really didn't count. Michigan's pretty good this year, not great. Indiana, I don't see losing this game. They just have too much. They just run. They have good quarterback, good offense, good defense. It's just solid. They're not as good as Ohio State, who can just kill you with the defense. They don't seem to really shut out teams. I see UCLA scoring on them as far as the quarterback, dodgeball boy. He's playing. So I don't know what injury he had last week that knocked him out of the game, and then he comes back in to win it, and now he's fine. Did he bet against himself that he wouldn't score? So Indiana, just an A team at home. UCLA, it's big noon or one of the noons. So it's 9 a.m. for UCLA. Again, that's key. I'm not sure. It's hard to bet Indiana late 19 because we see UCLA can score. I don't think they'll do much against Indiana. It's probably not the time to take UCLA. There's times to bet UCLA, and there's times not to. And this is a time probably not to. Respect Indiana. Old Miss, Oklahoma. Oklahoma is 5.5, 52.5. For some reason, they're favored here. It makes sense. Oklahoma's plays a lot of under games so far. We've won, I think, 3 times betting them under. The Texas game last week. If we get them against LSU, if we get them, you got to be careful against Vandy and Missouri and Alabama. I think they get Alabama next week. You got to be careful of that. Well, we'll see how they play Mississippi. Will be how they play Alabama. Very tough defense, a 9 defense. Old Miss, a 22 defense. Now, Old Miss played Georgia, and they scored on them. So, not sure what to do here. Do I go under? Do I take Old Miss and the 11.5? I don't see taking Oklahoma even. They don't have the quarterback, and certainly not going to go over. So it's a real dilemma here. Normally, this is an automatic Oklahoma under. They're a 9 defense. It's automatic and under, but here I'm trying to be careful. Northwestern, Nebraska 7.5, 44.5. Northwestern, an under team with a 15 defense. Nebraska, a B team with a 19 defense. Should be competitive. Kansas State. Kansas, 3.5, 55.5. Kansas State, an over team with a 27 defense. Kansas, an over team with a 23. They played Missouri to 42-31. It was really 35-31. Missouri got a late touchdown. So they can score on a Missouri. K-State beats somebody that's pretty good. I don't remember. But they're scoring. They're not that good, but the defense, K-State's got a 27, Kansas got a 23. So it's a rivalry game. Probably tease the dog. App State, Old Dominion 14, 61 and a half. Both are over. 28 for App State, 26 for Old D, total 62. Syracuse, Georgia Tech, my Haynes King. Georgia Tech, 16 and a half, 52 and a half. Syracuse, an over team with a 30. Their quarterback got knocked out with Achilles. He was the backup for Notre Dame's guy, and now they got somebody else who's not very good. Georgia Tech, we know, very strong, did beat Clemson, an A team with a 20 defense. Bowling Ball Green and Kent State. The Bowling Balls are laying 747 and a half. E team with the 25 defense. Kent is one of the Z teams with the 38 defense. So Bowling Green, it's on the road. They should win, but can you trust Bowling Green? That's the thing. But Kent's a Z team. They're terrible. They're almost as bad as UMass. Virginia goes to North Carolina. Virginia is 10 and a half, 51 and a half to North Carolina. The Bill Belichick's are an under team with a 25 defense. Virginia, an over team with a 23 with a great quarterback, Morris. North Carolina, just no offense at all. I think they don't even get 200 yards a game. Virginia here, 10 and a half. The way they're playing, should be good. SMU Wake, SMU 3, 53 and a half. SMU an A team with a 22 defense. Wake a B team with a 20. SMU the A team. I already said that. Total 50, 3.5, 54. It's a tough game. Wake's not too bad. SMU's okay, but they're on the road. South Florida, Memphis. South Florida 6 and 58 and a half. Up from 4.5. And down to 60 to 58 and a half. Wonder if there's a problem with the Memphis quarterback. Let's see if they help us out here. If you click into the game, sometimes they give you the injuries. No, it's not really showing you. I'm not seeing it. No, I'm not getting an injury report. So the spread just moved, huh? Just for the hell of it. 6 and 58 and a half. So South Florida's been playing well. They did beat Boise. They did beat Florida. Then they got killed by Miami. And then they've been on a hot streak. Memphis, an A team with an A team, but they've been giving up more. I don't know. I would think probably an over game, but the spread just went from 60 to 58 and a half. I got to do some more research on this one. I'm not sure what's going on. Auburn, Arkansas. Arkansas, 2.5, 55 and a half. Down from 57, 55. That's interesting. Auburn's an under team with an 18 defense. Not a good quarterback. Arnold from Oklahoma, mostly a running quarterback. Although I think they're switching to a regular passer this week. Arkansas, an over team with a 32 defense. So is it going to be Arkansas and Auburn's going to score, or is it going to be Auburn's defense? Auburn's played a lot of close games against some very good teams. Oklahoma, LSU, and we know they get Alabama the last week. It's a tough one here. This is one of those divided where the last couple of weeks I'm just locking the unders and they're winning. You're getting 20-point games, Oklahoma, Texas, but here you've got the disconnect. You got the very strong offense in Arkansas, although they did go to Notre Dame, but this game's in Arkansas. They played A&M, who's got a pretty good defense, I think, although it won't look that good after that. Yeah, it's a 23 defense. Yeah, when you give up 50 points to Arkansas, it's not going to be a 15 defense. I don't know. I think Auburn can hang in there. With the schedule they played, they didn't get blown out by these other teams. So we'll see, but I don't know. Akron and Buffalo. We got Buffalo 10 and 49.5, up from 47.5. The Sharps betting over in the Buffalo game. Akron's a Z team. Buffalo is an under team. Utah State, New Mexico. New Mexico 361.5. Utah State an over team with a 31 defense. New Mexico an over team with a 26 defense. Looks like an over. Careful, Utah State hasn't been scoring the last few games. And New Mexico, I would think this game goes over, but just be careful on it because Utah State, who knows? They probably have some injuries we don't know about. UConn and Rice. UConn 10.5, 48.5. UConn an A team with a 22 defense, as long as you're in conference. Rice a W team with a 27. This game's in Rice, in Houston. I don't know. UConn will be tested. Rice, pretty decent defense. They did get one out by Houston, who's a little better than Connecticut. San Diego State, Fresno State. San Diego State 347.5. San Diego State's an A team with a 12 defense. Fresno State's a B with the 23. Maybe you go under with San Diego State. Missouri against Daggio, my Daggios. Missouri's an A team. Vandy's an A team. So it's Vandy 2.5, 52.5. Missouri with the 17 defense and Vandy with the 20. All we can look at is the Alabama game. They both played them. Vandy lost 30-14, but covered for us. Missouri lost 27-24 and covered. Well, not for us. We did play Alabama in the game. The game is in Vandy. Should be a whale of a game. Both have good quarterbacks, although Daggy is better. The defense is 17 and a 20, but as we saw, Alabama lit them up for 30. Missouri's got a good offense, good coach. Vandy, same thing. Missouri with the 17 defense. Again, Alabama put up 27. I'm expecting somewhere in the 20s in this game, 28, 24, somewhere around there. It's real close to the total, 51.5. Speaking of Alabama, 11.5, 47.5 to South Carolina. Alabama now an 18 with the 17 defense. South Carolina an under with the 20. You can play the game under, probably, or you can maybe you take South Carolina as a home dog because Alabama might be flat, or you take Alabama down to 5. I don't see Alabama losing this game. Even if they're flat, they'll come on. It's one of these, they'll come out at half and start kicking ass if they're down. But I think Alabama, the offense is just playing really strong. So I don't see them losing this game, but we'll see. That's why they play the games. Toledo, Washington State. Toledo, 1.5, 45.5. Toledo's an A team, 14 defense. Washington State's a W with the 27. Toledo's probably a live dog here, and we'll see about totals because they got a pretty weak defense, Washington State, but they've been playing good the last few games. They played Mississippi 24-21. That's all I can say. Illinois goes to Washington. Washington 4, 54.5. Illinois is an over team, beat UCLA like 34-32. Got killed by Indiana. Got 6 of their secondary guys got hurt in the game, so nobody could tackle them. All Indiana was doing is running, and they just kept running for touchdowns. They're 25 defense. Washington's an A team with a 20. Again, be careful with Illinois. It's just that Indiana game makes them look like they have a 25 defense. Washington, very good quarterback. Luke Altmaier for Illinois, very good quarterback. In Washington, it's at 3:30, which doesn't hurt Illinois too badly. Western Michigan and Miami of Ohio. Let's see. This is one of those that moved. Here it is. Miami of Ohio, 1.5, 41.5. That hasn't moved. Western's an under team with a 17 defense. Miami's an under team with a 22. It's a little low, 41.5, but probably be low scoring. Ball State, Northern Illinois. Northern Illinois, 6 and 42.5. Ball State is a Z team, 31 defense. Northern Illinois is an under with a 24. I would expect Northern Illinois at home to win. Usually a good defense, and Ball State being a Z team. Temple at Tulsa. Temple is 6 and 53.5. Temple, the over team with a 24 defense. Tulsa, W with a 28. You know, how much do we trust Temple as a road favorite is the question here. BYU, Iowa State. Be careful. Iowa State, 2.5, 48.5. Again, both BYU an A team with a 15 defense. Iowa State a B team with a 19. BYU coming off of the rivalry, emotional game with Utah. They did get the win. Look for them to play a good game. They do a lot more running than passing, although they can throw. Iowa State, Rocco Brock, great coach in Montgomery. Look for this should be a very close game. I preferred Iowa State being the dog at home, but they're favored, so you got to lean a little to BYU, but you got to be careful off of the Utah win. And then the total of 49.5, maybe this is an under because BYU's got a 15 defense. So NC State, Pitt. And where's that? Pitt is 6.5, 54.5. NC State's an E team with a 26 defense. Pitt's an A with a 20. NC State's okay, but they beat a lot of crap teams. Pitt at home. Yeah, they need the game. They did win at Florida State. Florida Atlantic and the Navy. The Navy, 14, 62.5. Florida Atlantic, an over team, 35 defense. Navy an A with the 21. Look for Navy to have a fun day. Lou Monroe, Southern Miss. Southern Miss is 13.5, 50.5, up from 11.5. Lou Monroe, a Z team with a 31 defense. Southern Miss at home, an over team with a 25. UMass, Central Michigan. Our favorite team, UMass. Central is 16.5, 46.5. Central, an E team, 25 defense. UMass, the Z team with the 35 defense. Minnesota and Iowa. Iowa, 8.5, 39.5. Both are B teams. Many with the 19 defense, Iowa with the 14. Iowa likes to run it down your throat and play defense. So does Minnesota. Should be a close game. Should be low scoring. Baylor and Cincinnati, my Baylor team. Gotta love the Baylor team. If I can find them. Here, there you go. Cincinnati, 3.5, 67.5. Baylor's an over team with a 31 defense. Cincy's an A team with a 19 defense, but yet played Kansas 35-31 or 37-34, scoring at the end. and then beat Iowa State in 38-30. So I'm doubting this 19 defense against a team like Baylor. It will not be 19. Let's go Baylor, beat Navy. Oak State, Texas Tech, T-Tech is their quarterback playing. 36.5, 54.5. Texas Tech favored. Oak State's a Z team, 38 defense. Texas Tech's coming off of a loss. Let's see if they say anything about their quarterback. This is where it's maybe easier to go to Google and just say, hey, Texas Tech quarterback. Texas Tech football to start quarterback Will Hammond for second. Okay, so he's out. So you're getting backup. So be careful about laying 38 points with the backup, right? And then you got to be careful with the over. But they're going to run. They got a great running back, Tech, and a great defense. This is a shutout. It just probably won't be as much. But, the backup's probably decent. All right, Texas, Mississippi State is your free game. Texas, 7.5, 47. Oh, this is up. This was 44.5. Ooh. Why would this be going up? Arch Manning learned how to quarterback? Or is Peyton Manning playing? Texas, an under team with 11. Mississippi State, A with a 20. And again, this is your free play. 46.5. Go under 52.5. Texas just a dominating defense on 11. And Old Mississippi State does play low-scoring games, so I don't know why anybody in their right mind would bet over here. TCU, West Virginia. TCU off 16.5, 55.5. TCU an over team with 26. Great quarterback in Hoover. West Virginia stinks. A Z team, I think they're switching quarterbacks. 30 defense. TCU is going to have a field day here. Lou Lafayette and Troy. Where did we go? Oh, here it is. We have Troy at 8.5, 48.5. Troy, Lou Lafayette, a W team with a 30 defense. Troy an even with a 24. Good luck on that game. Wisconsin, Oregon. Oregon, 31.5, 45.5 to Wisconsin. Wisconsin is an under team with a 24 defense, no offense at all. Oregon, an A team with a 14. Killed somebody last week. After the loss to Indiana, they came on strong last week. I'm not quite a big believer in Dante Moore, the quarterback. He's not very good. I just think it's the system that Oregon has that he's doing well. But I don't know. Laying 31 to Wisconsin is not something I want to do ever in my lifetime. Over or under Oregon, I don't know. They're not going to score that much against this pretty good defense. And Oregon, pretty good defense. I don't see this as a high-scoring game. Because I don't think Wisconsin, they're going to play good defense. They're not going to give you any points. But I can't play 31, lay 25 with Oregon. It's going to be a tight one if you lay that. Georgia Southern, Ark State. Here we go. Ark State, 1.5, 61, down from 62. Little movements on the overs I'm seeing today. Georgia Southern, an over team with a 35 defense. Ark State, a W team with a 30. Probably want to go with Georgia Southern as a dog, probably a live dog to a W team. Stanford, Miami, 29.5, 45.5. Stanford, a W team with a 27 defense. Did beat Florida State, but now we understand Florida State's problem. They don't have a quarterback. Miami, an E team with a 15. They do have a quarterback. He doesn't know which team he's throwing it to sometimes. He's like Joe Namath. Hey, Joe, we're wearing green next week. I love that one. Miami at home, lane 30. Stanford has to travel, but they just beat Florida State. They can't be that bad. It's a big number, 30. BC and Louisville. Louisville 25-54. I think this is crazy. BC's an over team, so they got a 33 defense, but they can score. Louisville an A team with a 21, coming off of the upset of Miami. They're going to be a little flat, I would imagine. BC can score. Probably a live dog here, I would think. Colorado State and Wyoming. Wyoming 4.5, 47.5. I don't know why anybody would be betting the over on a Wyoming game. Colorado State an even team, 27 defense. Wyoming and under with the 22. They don't score a lot, especially in Wyoming. A&M and LSU, Bobby's team. A&M 2.5, 49.5. A&M an over team with the 23 defense. Played a big game at Notre Dame and then a big game with Arkansas. Here they go to LSU, who's not. They starting the quarterback, I think, was injured. Is starting to get better. They got a 14 defense, which I don't buy. They were in 11, and Vanderbilt put up 31 on them. A&M will put up in the 30s, I believe. Also, LSU at home probably scores a little. Interesting game. Michigan State. Michigan 14, 47.5. Michigan a B team with a 17 defense. No quarterback, good running back, good defense. Michigan State an over team with a 32 defense. Michigan's going to run it down their throats. They might actually win. I don't know. They don't normally win at Michigan State. Michigan State an over team, not here. Total 47.5. Do we want to go over or under? No idea. So it's a big rivalry game. Michigan State probably keeps it close because that's what they do when they play Michigan at home. Tennessee and Kentucky. Tennessee 7.5, 54.5. Tennessee an over team with a 30 defense. Joey Aguilar. Kentucky an E team, the 25 defense. Not much offense there. Game's at Kentucky. Pretty big rivalry game. Houston, Arizona State. Arizona State 7 and 46.5. Up from 45.5. Houston a B team with a 19 defense. Arizona State an E with a 24. I would not fuck with Arizona State, especially at home. This should be a very close game and a very good game. Maybe you take Houston as a live dog here. And our last game, Colorado, Utah. Utah 13.5, 49.5. Is Dampier playing? He's questionable. Let's see. Injury updates. Injury updates. Color gearing up. The status of Utah starting quarterback Devin Dampier, who is currently listed as questionable in the latest injury report. So still questionable. Maybe we'll get it tonight. It's not really that big. They lost to BYU, so they should be on fire. 13.5, so a little big number against Prime Senior, and 49.5. If Dampier doesn't play, this is a good under. Utah with a 15 defense. Colorado, Prime's going to play cornerback, I hear. So if Dampier doesn't play, it's an under. If he does play, probably a Utah. And that is the bottom line, my friends. All right. So let's rip apart Mark McGwire. Just seems like the fun thing to do at the time. Because these are stupid questions and idiots that don't know what they're talking about. And I like to set the record straight. Now, most of you hear it from me, know what I'm talking about anyway. But this is why I rip these guys apart, because they don't know what they're talking about. All right, so this is Mark McGwire today with some guy I never heard of. Very disappointing show.
Robinhood Strategies offers zero management fees on every dollar over 100K for Gold subscribers.
And
So let's look at my comments. Waste of time. Today's show get real guests who understand inflation, gold, comex, the professor, the best. Gold 3000, where do you find this idiot? What's this guy doing on your show? Are you crazy? He says, well, we don't think gold will go under 3,000. Like, what he's trying to say is people are waiting for gold to come down and then buy it. What is he insane? This is not a stock. It's not going up and down like a stock. This should just be going straight to the roof. Comex lowers it because it's price fixed by JP Morgan, not because the market's lowering it. What the fuck is this guy talking about? So my little 2 cents worth. So let's listen to this idiot, and I'm going to rip him apart.
And it's been, I can't believe it. I just looked at it a little while ago. 2022? I mean,
it's almost definitely when gold is below 2,000.
My goodness me. I mean, good. I mean, there couldn't be a better day to have you here, or a better time to have you here.
I don't know why this is dark, but
we've just done a big episode on our market updates on silver. I mean, it took most of the episode up. It's just mind-bogglingly interesting. So thank you for joining us today. And obviously, I'm in my first question, my very, very first question. And John, you do cover a lot of stuff. My goodness me, I couldn't believe that last time we were talking about everything from the World Economic Forum to you name it, we talked about it. But it's silver. It's the absolute breakout, the broken comex. What is an imbalance that we've never seen before, unprecedented. Tell us your thoughts of what you're seeing from your expert eyes.
Right, Andy, we're entering a once in a lifetime situation here with silver. When gold took out, I think last time we spoke about 3-4 years ago, gold was below 2,000, and once it broke out 1,800, I was expecting silver to take out more challenging $50 a couple of years ago. But longer than anticipated. We can discuss the reasons why silver has been a laggard. But now we're looking at a situation where silver is primed to break out of that $50 cupping handle formation, as you know. And
okay, so he doesn't understand anything. He doesn't understand comex price fixed by MG by he doesn't understand that comex is price fixed by JP Morgan. Because gold went, why would silver go? They're unrelated. Everybody wants to do this ratio gold silver. They're unrelated. BRICS central banks are buying, and Putin and Xi and India are buying gold. They're not buying silver. So the demand for gold's there. It's gold went tier 1 and is Basel 3. Silver wasn't. So they have to deliver the gold, and the gold price is going up. It has nothing to do with the silver price. It's apples and oranges. And everybody wants to do the ratio, which is bullshit. Oh, gold broke 1,800. There have been 1,800 where I thought silver would rise. What are you talking about? So this guy doesn't understand comex or anything, that it's a paper thing. He's doing a technical analysis when you can't. The variables are way changed to do a technical analysis. A cup and saucer, whatever the fuck, a teacup. What is that? That's morons. That's, you don't understand. You don't know what the, if you don't know what the, you don't know all the, what did I just say? If you don't know all the variables, you're fucked. So right away I can read him and saying this guy's an idiot. He's a technical analysis. He doesn't understand technical analysis, doesn't understand what the variables are. Why are we listening to him? And we won't listen long. But why are we? Why is this guy on your show, Mark? I don't understand. Mark McGwire would have a guy like this on his show. What, he doesn't know what he's talking about. No, comex is price fixed. That's it. Period. It's priced. It's just Daria telling me things. I guess she has internet problems sometimes in Russia, where she can't contact me or read or something like that. And, you know, I guess during the war, even though they're not attacking Russia, there's still security issues, I guess. So I don't know. But soon we'll be in our own war here, and then everybody can cry. All right. So we already know this guy's an idiot. Teacup, he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. Doesn't understand comex, price fixed, looking for a ratio that doesn't exist. All right. Let's look a little more.
That's what your audience is well aware. First time silver was at $50 was 1980, and gold was 800. And second time silver tried for $50 an ounce, it was 2011, and gold was barely 1,500. And now silver is trying for $50 for the third time, and as they say, third time is the charm. And we're trying to break out that $50 level. And just quickly, the reason we can talk about technical trends and fundamentals.
No, we can't.
In terms of fundamentals, silver has been a laggard. Part of the reason was due to the Asia collapse of the real estate market and the housing market.
Why would that have anything to do with it?
Struggling to come out of the COVID recovery, and now China has since readopted a reflationary policy, and so that sort of obstacle is removed from the equation. Oh,
really? What the fuck is he talking about? China's housing market would have no effect on silver. Yeah, we know it collapsed. We know Evergrande collapsed. What does that got to do with silver? Didn't affect gold. Gold kept going. So I love how he gives a reason that he doesn't even know what he's talking about. But the problem is, if somebody gives you a reason like that, you believe them, because you can't challenge them because you don't know, and he won't explain it well enough. Why would the housing market collapse cause silver not to go over 50? Do you understand that comex price fixes silver? It's not Basel 3. Do you understand that, Charlie Brown? It won't go over because the banks keep doing these derivatives. It's not free market. It's not based on physical demand. It's a bunch of options by Eddie Murphy. What part of that do you not understand? Apparently, he doesn't understand any of it. Well, for the third time, and then he gives us, well, gold was 800 and gold was 1,500. What the fuck difference does it make? It's totally unrelated to silver. The only kind of relationship it is since this is worthless and gold's going to 5,000 to 10,000, the only out will be silver. And that's the only way it's related is I can't buy gold. It's too expensive. So I will buy the silver. That's the only relationship it has. If it's 10 to 1 or 100 to 1, it doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. Is there demand? These are options keeping the price down, and gold is Basel III and tier 1, and therefore you don't have it. So gold's running because BRICS is buying, but they haven't bought silver yet, although Russia and China have been buying it. So that's the difference, but totally unrelated. It's just more people want gold right now. More people will want silver later. Options are still pricing gold and silver. So look at your charts all you want. They don't tell you shit.
And second part of it was that, Andy, a lot of the silver bugs were waiting for gold to correct. And back in 2022, when gold took out 1800, I packed the gold target short term at 2800 in 2023. And it was the inverse cup and handle formation, where the neckline was 2000 and the bottom of the cup was around 1200. So if you flip to the other side, then you add 800 to the neckline. And then gold logically was target of 2800. And Andy, gold went to 2800, but it didn't stop there for long. And then in a short while in 2024, took out 2800 and went to 3300. So I said, well, even on the loss scale, gold has exceeded the target. The loss scale, meaning that from 1200 to 2000, that was about it's almost a double from the bottom. And so if you to double 1800, on the other side would be 3600. So I said, well, gold is probably going to be resting at 3,300 to 3,600 for the rest of 2025.
Based on what? Based on the fact he's an idiot? He doesn't understand inflation is ruining the money, and you get out of the dollar to go into the lifeboat, gold and silver. So why would you say it's not going to go over 3,300, 3,600? In what world are you talking about? And then the silver bugs, whatever that means, are waiting for gold to go down to buy silver. Why? What does one thing have to do with the other? He clearly doesn't understand what inflation is. This is going out. You get rid of paper dollars to get into real money, gold and silver. But he doesn't get that. He's looking at a teacup and oh, let me look at mine. Let me look at my coffee cup. I wonder, can we guess the price of gold and silver looking at my coffee cup? Maybe that'll give us the answer. And to say gold is 3,300 to 3,600 is his thing based on what? Oh, charts. Why the fuck are you basing it on charts? Your variables are wrong. This is what I have against technical analysis. The variables are not correct. The numbers are bullshit, and it's all JP Morgan on COMEX, and it's all BRICS, and you can't look at variables on BRICS because it's all new. You have no history. You can't go back to 2010 and go, well, what is BRICS doing? What a